question is what should I understand about my auto insurance? Let me introduce myself first of all. I am Niall Walker. I own an insurance agency and have been in the insurance industry for almost 40 years now. And my first 20 years of my experience in the insurance industry was as a commercial insurance specialist, insuring businesses across the United States. And then about 20 years ago, I started my own agency. And our agency caters to all of our clients' needs, their personal insurance, commercial insurance, health, life, and any other product that they may need to protect themselves and their assets. The reason I thought it'd be wise for me to share a little information is because I don't know how much longer I'm going to stay in the career. I will be retiring, I'm hoping, in a couple of years. And I just think this information is important to understand. I have many clients that come into our office that don't fully understand what they're purchasing. In fact, most of them do not. And we're finding a trend where more and more people are going and purchasing products through the internet, and auto insurance is one of those things that they are acquiring on the internet. I think it's important to understand some basic principles about auto insurance because I'd hate to, you don't want to find out what the protection and the coverage is or is not after the accident has already occurred. So it's much like deciding that you want to go and become a rock climber and leave your home with the anticipation to go to some granite face and begin to climb the wall there, and before you go you stop by your local hardware store and buy you a rope, and with the understanding or a thought that the rope is going to be adequate to save your life, only to get to the face of that rock and not understand what you're doing, nor having the proper equipment to protect you in the case that you miss a handhold and you slip or fall. So as you consider your insurance for your automobile, you should consider some understand what the policy is intended to do, to review your limits to make sure they're adequate to provide the coverage you expect, and to develop a relationship with your agent so that you can ask questions that will prevent future losses that are not insured, which you'll end up paying out of your own pocket. Many of us are introduced to auto insurance because we learned that it's a law that you have to provide some type of a document to the police officer, or maybe in some states when you register your car that you have auto insurance. And we sometimes assume, simply because we have that card in our vehicle or in our wallet, that we are now protected from losses. You are probably protected from some losses, but may not be protected for many. And so again, it's important to understand that. It's also equally dangerous to assume that everything is covered and that you have no exposures simply because somebody has referred to your policy as a full coverage policy. There is no such thing. If somebody refers to your policy that way, or you ask somebody for full coverage insurance for your auto insurance, there's no way that you can cover all losses, and certainly not even an agent that's been licensed to do business for many years will have any idea of what to really provide for you. So it is important to sit down and review with your agent, or if you are buying online, to understand insurance well enough that you're purchasing the appropriate coverage with the appropriate limits to protect yourself. Let me just give you a little bit of general information on auto insurance. One of the things you need to understand about auto insurance is the rates are based on a lot of factors, and it is important to make sure that all drivers that are in your household or could come to your household and operate your vehicles on a regular basis need to be listed on your policy. An example of that is, let's suppose that my mother needs help to drive to the store to get groceries because of her age, and my granddaughter goes once a week and drives her to the store using her car to make those deliveries. In that situation where she's driving the car on a regular basis, she really should be listed as a driver on that policy, you would hate to have an incident where she was the one that made the mistake, and she's not being protected because she's not listed as a driver. So be aware of that. That's called permissive use. There are also a few other endorsements I've seen that can be added to auto policy. One of them is accident forgiveness. That basically just means that if you have an accident, they're not going to adjust your rates, because rates are based on lots of factors, including your driving record. And so if your record changes, then your rates change. And there's an endorsement to not charge you for that adjustment when you do have an accident. Usually that's a one-time deal though, so you can't go out and have 3 or 4 accidents in a year and not expect your auto rates to change. But if you happen to have one, then with that endorsement, they're not going to adjust your rates. Well, I hope this was informative. I know it wasn't exciting. I try to do better on the next one I do, but I hope this will help you though as you review your insurance, whether you're doing it yourself and purchasing your insurance online, or whether you're working with an agent. You'll be able to ask your agent some very important questions with this basic knowledge of what your auto policy should be doing for you and your family. Thank you.